Welcome to the Burn Bootcamp podcast. I'm Ans. I'm your host today, and we have the most incredible member transformation story. I'm so excited for you all to get to hear about her journey and how far she's come in what she calls the absolute hardest year of her life. It is truly inspiring. Welcome, Amanda.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Amanda Burton, 35, mom to two great kids, member at Voorhees in New Jersey. Okay, so before we get started, we all think our burn location is the best location in the country. I'm, of course, fully obsessed with HQ here in Lake Norman, the Ashleys and all of our trainers here in our community. But I want to give you the opportunity to tell us why Burn Voorhees is the best community, the best location. Give your shout outs. Let us know what it's like there.
Okay. Well, from, the first step I took into the door, I felt like I had already been there for months between Anna, the manager, and the trainers and even the members. Like my first day felt like my third week. Everyone was so welcoming and inviting and encouraging. And, nothing about that was fake because now I've been there for 8 or 9 months and I still feel the same way every time I walk in the door.
Yep.
It's just an amazing place to work out and get stronger.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
When you find the right community, you find the way, really, truly. And it sounds like Voorhees has that community and has those people there to support you. That's awesome. Shout out to Voorhees. Way to go. So, and also before we get started with your story, I want to get a little history about what fitness and nutrition were like for you growing up. I think that there are a lot of people out there that probably will have had the same experience as you. What was it like growing up with mom and dad, your history with nutrition, with exercise? What shaped your body image as a young person all the way up to here?
Growing up, I feel like health and nutrition wasn't really a priority for my parents. I don't know, they let us kind of eat and drink what we wanted and what made us happy. But they, on the other hand, let us do dance and sports and, always encourage us to do whatever kind of extracurricular activities that we wanted to do. But, I don't, my mom cooked dinner every night, but there was never really like a health aspect to it,
Right. We didn't know what we didn't know back then.
Yeah.
Fruit just came out of a can sometimes.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people probably had that same experience, and it probably creates the experience that sets you up for the challenges that you face as an adult and as raising your own children, I'm sure. So yeah, that history is an important part of your story, and thank you for sharing that. So, okay, so bring us to November 10th, 2022.
Okay, so I had pretty much decided like enough was enough. I hadn't been to the doctor in a few years. I was like the most unhealthy I've ever been, and my weight was the highest it had ever been. I was like starting to have difficulty doing like activities of daily living. I was having like a hard time bending over to put my socks on, and I was starting to avoid shoes that had shoelaces because bending over to tie them was becoming a chore to me, And at the time I had a 3 and 5-year-old, and I was like, this is ridiculous, so yeah. I got blood work. I went to the doctor. My blood pressure was high. My cholesterol was high. My triglycerides were through the roof. And I was probably months away from being pre-diabetic.
And you have a medical background, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm a nurse anesthetist. I was a nurse before that. So, I just...
So you knew how dangerous that was and what a place you were in. Yeah.
Yeah. I take care of patients that have the same kind of lab work and medical issues that I have that are double, triple my age. I'm like, as a 34-year-old mom of 2 toddlers, like this is not how my life is going to be, you know, and I
Right.
have decided
It's not
that
what you
I
had
needed
pictured.
to make a change.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So so that led you, so you knew you were in a place that you did not want to be. You knew that you did not want to be that type of mom for your kids and that type of, that type of person. What happened next?
Well, like I said, I could barely walk up a flight or two of stairs. So, at first I just focused on my nutrition. So from the beginning of November until the end of February, I just completely changed my diet and I lost like 65 pounds in that
Wow.
time frame.
Not easy.
Just by
That's
changing
not
my
easy.
diet. No. And then my friend had joined Burn maybe like a month prior, and she had been begging me to, try it out with her. And I just never felt ready. But then one day I was like, I just need to take the plunge and do it, because I had, like I said, I did sports all throughout my life in high school. And then right before my wedding, I had joined a gym and had a trainer and had lost like 80 pounds for my wedding. But then I got pregnant right after we got married. And there I was 6 years later, not having stepped foot in a gym for 6 years. So it was a little scary.
Yeah. Oh, terrifying, I think, is probably a word a lot of people would use. Yeah, it is a difficult place to be. But so you ended up going into a burn boot camp with your friend, and what happened there? You did a 7-day trial, maybe?
So I signed up for the 7-day trial, but I left after the first day with the 18-month membership because I loved it so much.
Okay, can I just stop you right there and ask, to go from a 7-day trial to an 18-month commitment? I mean, what happened that time? Like, that is not a decision made by the faint of heart. That's like, I'm in, let's go. Can you speak to how you got from there to this kind of commitment for yourself?
I just, I think Tim was the first trainer that I ever met. And he just was, between him and all of the members, it was just such an encouraging and fun environment. Everyone was so willing to help and encourage, and everyone was super nice. And I just, I like that it's kind of, even though it's a group setting, it still kind of felt individualized. And I knew that that's the kind of workouts that I need. I can't just go in a gym and try and motivate myself. I need all the motivation around me to actually stick to something. And I just knew that just by that first class, I knew that that's where I wanted to be.
That's amazing. It really does. The community, we aren't meant to do this alone. This is hard work, and it does take a lot of support. It takes a lot of people lifting you up and holding you accountable. And, you have to make the decision about who you want to be, but you have to then find a community that is that. Yeah, great. That's great. That's great. Well, so you sign an 18-month commitment, and then talk me through like moving forward and what it was like and how you progressed as a Burn Bootcamp member.
I think my first two classes were both, I think first day was arm strength and the next day was leg strength day. And
good. So you were like equally paralyzed from the top and bottom.
It was funny. When I woke up on day 3, I was going to go, but I couldn't even like sit on the toilet. Like I was in so much pain. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take a rest day. And it was really funny because, I have toddlers, so I can't go to the bathroom, but I can't do anything by myself. So they're there watching me trying to like sit on the toilet and like,
they're like, Mommy, what's wrong?
Mommy, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? And I was like, I'm just hurting from the gym. So
it's a good hurt.
So the next day I got up and got dressed to go to the gym, and they were like, where are you going? And I was like, I'm going to the gym. And they were like, you're going back to that place that hurt you? And I was like, no, it didn't hurt me. It was a good pain. Like, it's okay. But they were so concerned that I was going back to this place that injured me.
Right. And as they get older, they'll understand and they'll remember back, mom was so sore, she was hobbling around, but did she give up? Absolutely not. She went back.
Yeah.
That's great.
And
That's a great memory for them.
the recovery has never been that bad since that day. That was the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when you're consistent, it really does make a huge difference. Your first leg day back after a vacation or, a little time off, it'll get your attention for sure. That's amazing. Well, so as you progress, did you, there are a lot of measuring sticks that a lot of people use on the floating floor, like, a box jump or, a push up for the first time on their toes. Do you remember some of those challenges that you finally conquered?
Oh yeah. Well, so I have an irrational fear of heights. Even walking on a step ladder, scares me. So I remember the first time I had to do pull-ups on the rig. Rebecca was the trainer that day, and I think I literally was crying, just putting my hands on the bars. So I couldn't even put my foot on the resistance bands by myself. I was so scared to just standing on the box trying to and she was there the whole time with me and did not leave my side. And after a couple camps of having to use the burn bar, now I literally jump right up there, lift my foot up, and can just completely do it, without a trainer in sight.
Amanda, that's amazing. That's amazing. Isn't it amazing what you can do with a trainer standing there, with you, they are on that rig with you, not physically, but it's amazing what you can push through with somebody by your side like that. That's amazing.
And I also needed the super dark gray resistance band and the other gray resistance band. And now just last week I was doing chin-ups with just one single blue resistance band.
Girl,
yeah.
That's amazing. What does that say to you? What was the story that has been rewritten in your brain that you now don't need, that you are so strong, from a mindset standpoint and from a physical standpoint? That has to be a story that you had to completely rewrite in order to get from 2 resistance bands down to one little tiny one. Talk to me about that.
My trainers, Tim, Rebecca, and Joanna, just know I really get in my head sometimes, and it's just, it's just not a good place to be sometimes. And, these past 8 months have just, have just proven to me that I can do more than I ever thought I could do. My body physically and mentally can handle a lot more than I give it credit for sometimes. And I just being at Burn has helped me not give up and just keep fighting even when I don't want to fight at all. It's made me realize how strong I can be.
Yep. And to never give up on yourself, never abandon yourself, keep pushing. Yeah. That's amazing. That's there are a lot of people out there who have not taken that step yet. And to hear you talk about that is, I think, is really impactful. Where do you think you'd be? Or maybe a better question is, who do you think you'd be at this point if you had not found Burn?
I don't, like I said, this was a really rough year. I had absolutely no self-confidence and no self-esteem. And I think, for the first time in years, I put myself first and am slowly regaining that self-confidence and that self-esteem. I don't look in the mirror at myself anymore and hate myself and just pinpoint all the negative stuff. I wake up and, just wonder what goals I can crush now and what can I do today that I couldn't do yesterday, as opposed to waking up and saying this is as good as it's going to get. I guess I'm just going to go with the motions and just, go through the day and go to bed and wake up and do the same thing. Now it's every day I wake up looking for a new challenge and a way to get stronger and better myself and, my family.
That's wonderful and very, very impactful and emotional. I'm so excited for you and for where you are, and you've come in such a short time to such an incredible place. I think that's the great thing about when you sort of reach the bottom and your life kind of falls apart a little bit. Once you decide to stand back up, you get to put the pieces back together however you want. And who I see on this camera, unfortunately we're virtual because I really want to hug you, but who I see on camera right now is somebody who decided, who made a decision for themselves to put themselves back together in a way that they were proud of. And we are incredibly grateful for your story. There are probably people that are listening out in Burn Nation right now who are on the fence. They are nervous as hell about walking into a burn boot camp. Can you tell them what you went through, what it took to walk through those doors, what you told yourself? Maybe was there a mantra? What got you, sometimes the heaviest weight is that front door. What got you through it?
I mean, like if I can walk in there and do it, I think anyone can. There's going to be people who are in the very beginning of their fitness journey, and there's people that walk in there that have been, excelling in fitness for years. And once you're on that floating floor and listening to the trainer, like you kind of just get into a zone and you just focus on yourself and what you can do. And when you do stop to look around, you realize that that's what everyone is doing. Like no one's looking at you and judging you. If anything, like if anyone is looking at you, it's just to encourage you. Like I remember a couple weeks ago, I was trying to do power rolls, not on the ledge, and I just could not get it. And so at the end of the camp, two girls came and they're like, "We're going to do this." And Tim was helping me, and I wound up getting the power roll, not on the ledge. And when I did it, every single person in the camp started cheering me on. There was 20 people
That's
sitting
awesome.
there, and I was like, everyone was watching me, and I don't know half the people there, but it just felt so amazing that everyone was vested in me getting this power roll, and everyone was genuinely happy when I got it. So it's kind of like that with every exercise and every day. Everyone is encouraging. No one's there to judge you at all. And the trainers do an amazing job of giving you modifications if needed. They really focus on what level you're at and don't make you feel bad if you can't do something that the person next to you can. You don't know how long it took them to actually get to that point. So, one day you're gonna be the person that the newbie is looking at for encouragement and help.
Exactly.
You just have to take the plunge and know that you're going to get there if you work hard and are determined to do it.
So well said, Amanda. It's people might not know you, but they know you. You know what I mean? Everybody's been in that place and have such genuine, authentic love and admiration for people who just try, who just hang it out there and say, I'm going to try this. It may not work, and it may not work for the next 2 weeks, but I'm not going to give up until I get there. Mm-hmm. I know I read in your story that you can do double unders. First of all, can you teach me how to do a double under?
I can only do one or two. I'm still working on
it. Okay. Still.
They're really hard. Yeah.
They're really hard. And it's just truly amazing. It's that's amazing. So first, teach me. You're gonna have to come to North Carolina. Teach me how to do a double under. And second, I really do wish we weren't virtual because I would love to be in the same room to hug your neck. But I just wanted to say thank you so much for this. Thank you for your vulnerability. Thank you for your words. They truly throw a life preserver to someone who is listening and struggling to stay above water. You are an inspiration to people out there. They need to hear they need to hear that, people like you decide that, you're entirely up to you, and you are without question strong enough to get where you want to be. And you, in such a short time, have changed everything about your life, your mindset, and your strength. And it's a great thing to hear. It's a great thing to hear. Thank you so much for your time today, Amanda.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. If this story has meant something to you, which I know it has, if you've made it all the way to this point, it has meant something to you. And if this podcast makes a positive impact in your life, whether you're listening to try to learn how to take care of yourself as a parent, tools to keep you more motivated and organized, how to change your mindset, listening about, for nutrition and exercise tips. If these things change your life for the better, please like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and drop us an email at Burn with ideas for what you want to hear about. Podcast at burnbootcamp.com, I believe is the email. We'd love to hear from you. And so I guess, okay, Amanda, can you take us out with 2 claps on 2?
All right, let's do 2 claps on 2.